Committee reports, legislative update, Mrs. Shorter.
Just one quick update. The House rejected Senate bill, well, the Senate's changes to House Bill 110. So currently, they're going to have a conferees meeting where they're going to try and hash out the differences between the House's version versus the Senate's version. And of course, as it pertains to education, those big changes for us are in regards to the fair funding provisions that are a part of House Bill 110. So what they're asking right now, and these are advocates at the state educational level that are asking for the public's help. There are two things that they're requesting. One is to continue to reach out to senators and also representatives, really the senators. Reach out to your senator, your state senator, and advocate for the fair funding type measures to be included, or at least given some more weight. Since they're going to have the conferees report, they're going to basically have to have some give and take on it. But they're asking for people to reach out to their senators and urge them to support those measures that are included in fair funding. In addition to that, they're also asking for the public to reach out and to specifically thank Speaker Cupp. He has been an advocate for the Cupp-Patterson, well, what used to be the Cupp-Patterson funding measure for years. And this was the first year that it actually went so far. Yeah. And so we really do owe a debt of gratitude for him in his tireless efforts in trying to push forward with a way to make funding in the state of Ohio more equitable and just better for our students all around. So those are the two things that are going on. But yes, they're definitely trying to hammer out the differences, and hopefully the House's version will win the day, since it carried more of the provisions that were, and I think most of us, you know, in education and school boards and all of that, really wanted for schools and for our kids. And that's the only update that I have on that.
Any questions for Mrs. Shorter? Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Next item is Butler Tech update. I would say the old modular units have been removed at the Natural Science Center at the Monroe campus. Demolition of the old horse stable will take place soon to make room for the new building. The addition to the large horse barn has begun as well. Butler Tech entered new business partnerships with some local businesses. They include 80 Acres Farms, Gorilla Glue, Johnson & Johnson, Kaizen, and Procter & Gamble. And these partnerships could result in hundreds of internships for not just Butler Tech students, but also the associate school students like Fairfield. I've attached a copy of some of those businesses with the report. There was an article in today's Journal News about the Butler Tech MEET program, M-E-E-T. Butler Tech has worked with some manufacturers to have local teachers observing an 8-hour shift work so they can have some idea what a workday might look like for students heading straight to the workforce after graduation. These partnerships are limited right now, but we do expect to expand in the coming years to include more teachers. And Butler Tech received a grant of $50,000 from the Hamilton Community Fund to add more equipment at Butler Tech's Career Center at Hamilton High School. So that was a big catch for them. And I also included the Student Success Update newsletter for everyone to take a gander at. It was a pretty picture of our groundbreaking of that Natural Science Center is on the front, as well as some important upcoming events on the back. Any questions on Butler Tech?
Just one about this picture here on the cover. Is that you in the hard hat and the bow tie?
I don't think anybody else would be that foolish enough to wear a hard hat and a bow tie, but yes. Okay, next item is Planning Commission. Mr. Bagley?
We did not have a meeting last night since we've last met.
Okay, thank you. Student Achievement, Mrs. Gundrum?
It's a light week because it's this, or month because it's the summer. But since our last meeting, I did see a story on the new Facebook page that we had 13 spring athletes signed to play on in college from various sports: baseball, bowling, football, lacrosse, soccer, softball, and volleyball. So that is very exciting. And then also the summer latchkey program recently built and launched their own rockets.
Oh,
So
that's
that's pretty awesome.
It's exciting.
It's pretty awesome. So.
Great. Any questions for Mrs. Gunner? Hey, Parks and Recreation, Mr. Clark?
You always get the fun stuff, rockets, kids.
You're literally in Parks and Recreation. That's
I guess that does kind of top that sometimes. Exciting that the loop in Harbin Park is being, actually it started today, they broke ground on that today. So it's going to connect an entire loop around the walk, be 1.2 miles around the park at Harbin Park. If weather permits, and they should be done in about 4 weeks. So you should be able to walk the whole thing. Now it's connecting 2 neighborhoods together there to do that. So that's very exciting. Also, fireworks are coming. It's going to be very similar, actually mirrored last year. They start planning in January for this, so it takes a lot of time to prepare. So once the COVID restrictions were lifted, there wasn't enough time to plan activities and things like that. So they're going to get, quote unquote, bigger shells so that they go higher in the air so people can see them from their backyard as they did last year. So they still will do the fireworks similar to as they did last year. And then the Jack 92.9 FM is where the simulcast will be from, so it's exciting. And that is all I have.
great. Thank you, Mr. Clark.